Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep. With your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick with you this morning. Got a lot to discuss. The rotation is continuing every day. It rotates back and forth. Growth, value, tech, value, tech, value. It is in play again today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about more craziness in GameStop land, in SPAC land, the Roblox IPO, guys. That was some wild stuff yesterday. I want to get to that as well. Our guest today is Buck Andrews, the co-founder of Inform. Today's show is also sponsored by Inform. I'm going to put the link up on the screen right there. Where are we? Right there. in4m.info to learn more, guys. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit share, tweet at us, engage with us. I hear someone's TV in the background. I don't know who that is. In any case, let's bring Joel on now. Joel, how are we doing this morning?
Good morning, Spencer. Another good night in the index futures. Looking at the March here, up 29 handles. Got a little bit under the close last night on that 8 p.m. close, and here we are knocking on the door of a new all-time closing high. That would be 39.31. Your pre-market high stands at 39.29. Crude having a good day. That's up 98 cents at 65.38. You have gold in the green by 11.70, trying to get away from that $1,700 level. You have silver. That's going the same way. That's up 26 cents at 26.39. And Bitcoin just hanging out here near all-time highs. The futures, they're up $375. This is called 57,000 in Bitcoin. Triple D, here we are again, the day after the rollover. Nice move overnight. Yeah. What are you seeing out there?
Very, very clear rotation. The rotation has become almost automated because you are seeing it so pronounced that now you definitely have some high-frequency algorithms that are playing the rotation that we've been talking about forever. Value stocks, not up today. Value stocks getting hit here. You can see the banks, your clear value names that were all getting bought hand over fist yesterday. Those are down today. So it's a complete rotation from where we were about 3 o'clock yesterday when they were selling tech stocks and buying the banks. They're doing the opposite here today. Value stocks trading in the red, where you've got obviously the S&P significantly higher. So it's such an interesting market to trade. Just from the daily rotations, the market that has no memory. That's what Doug Cass often says. Completely agree. Day to day, we seem to be completely different. We love tech stocks this morning. We hated them yesterday afternoon. We love, the banks yesterday afternoon. We hate the banks this morning. It's the market that just is rotating around. And again, I'm going to keep saying it. This is a contrarian market. The fade trade has been working. I obviously had the one, bad day there this month, but for the most part, I'm basically, usually, I'm a fader. I'm fading moves, and the fade trade continues to work. So if you're chasing moves and you're jumping in, you're buying Tesla when it's up over 700 yesterday, yeah, it's going to 800. Then it's like, okay, well, they just pulled the rug out from under and it lost 40 points. I mean, this is the kind of market you're in. Now it's getting it back a little bit here, but it seems like if you're chasing moves, it's not paying you right now. Yes, maybe on a day trading basis, you can chase a little bit. But, if you're saying, okay, stock runs 10%, it's going up 10% tomorrow, that hasn't been the case here for a while. It's been more the play to buy the dip and sell the rip, which we've been talking about for a long time, and that still continues to work.
All right. Not much going on as far as earnings, but we got some new stocks. Do we want to do our Kathy Wood segment?
Yeah.
So you got
Kathy.
Let's do Kathy. Okay.
Right.
Spencer, do you have a little introduction for that yet?
We're waiting for him.
No, I don't.
He's working on it.
I'm working on it. I apologize. I'm working on it. What's interesting though is I've noticed at least for this week, maybe what I'll do is like chart her activity because there were last week and the week before they were doing like 30, 40, 50 trades a day. And the past few days it's been like 15. Yesterday was 17.
Yeah, but why? Because the market was up. She's a heavy dip buyer. She listens to pre-market prep. She knows you buy the dip, and she likes tech stocks. So she's always mostly tech. So when tech's having a huge bad day, she's loading up the buys. When tech's having a significant rally, like it has in the last couple of days, she's not buying in very much. So one stock she did buy yesterday, though, she got down and dirty on day one.
Yeah,
Roblox down and dirty on day one. Bought herself 500,000 shares of RBLX.
Yeah, let me get that. Yeah, 519,000 shares for the ARKW fund.
Yeah, so significant pop here this morning. Stock is significantly off the overnight highs. I cannot believe that somebody was paying over $90 for this at 4 a.m. Again, I'm going to go on the 4 a.m. rant. I know 4 a.m. trading. I did it for a decade. I'm very good at 4 a.m. trading. I don't do it anymore because I got the young kids and I'm too tired. I'm simply too tired and it was taking a toll on my life because it was like I'm losing years of my life waking up this early to trade at 4 a.m. But I will tell you, if you are chasing moves at 4 a.m., you are absolutely on the wrong side of the trade. How do I know this? I made money for a decade trading 4 a.m. You don't chase moves at 4 a.m. I usually was making always the money fading stupid moves. That's how I made my money at 4 a.m. Fading stupid moves. RBLX trading up over $20 on Cathie Wood is stupid. And if you bought it at $90, you're down 15 points and you deserve to be. So it's giving it back. Now this seems right. I mean, Cathie Wood bought 500,000 shares. It's worth something. Tech's up strong. It feels like it should be up. RBLX feels like it should be up. But if you're coming in saying, she bought 500,000 shares, the stock's only up 25%, it's going up 50%. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Listen, like I'm sorry, if somebody actually listens to the show that bought this, but we're trying to teach. This is what we try to do in this segment from 8 to 9. It's not about stock picks. We try to give a few of those. It's about teaching. And I will tell you, the absolute right way to lose money and burn cash is to chase really high moves and buy a stock up 25%. Because Cathie Wood bought it. I've been tweeting that when they're moving up 20%, and RBLX is going to get a bigger move because the new IPO, everybody's excited about it. But you can't be that excited and pay $90.
$90. What about 92 and change, Dennis?
$92.
92.01 to be exact.
92.01. I knew a whole number would come in there and into play. And you know what? 73,000 shares traded in that bracket. So I mean, there was some big volume
Jay
coming
Breed
in.
listens to the show. He sold at 90 this morning. Jay Breed, that is how you make money at 4 a.m.
Who did
Fading the dumb money. Fade the dumb money. Don't be the dumb money. Fade the dumb money, Jay Breed. If we had that Luke Bell, we'd ring it for him. Good job, buddy. That's what you do.
Yeah,
I was waking up.
I got my own sounds here. Let's give Jay Breed a round of applause.
I think Jay Breed's new. I think he's new. Are you new to the show?
Either way,
I can't find my applause sound.
Jay Breed, nice work, buddy. There you go. There you go. Luke's got the better bell. We're not as good as
all right. I'll get my sounds.
Yeah.
I'll
but that's how you do it. So not saying fade every move. You've got to understand one thing. I was trading 4 a.m. I traded for a decade and then I started trading 4 a.m. So you can't just be a rookie and go and trade at 4 a.m. It's like sitting down with professional poker players. There's a lot of smart money out there 4 a.m. A lot of smart algos out there 4 a.m. Knowing what stuff is worth. I always know I've got a quantitative approach to the markets. I know what stuff is worth. Meaning, if there's a piece of news, I got a feeling for what that is worth. In this market, so it's a little tricky. Obviously, things go a little bit more than you think. But, it's an upgrade. It's a classic example. I'd be up at 4 a.m. trading the upgrades and downgrades. Somebody's really excited. Goldman Sachs upgraded some stock. It's up 10%. I'm like, well, historically, quantitatively, that stock should go up 3% on that. So I'll go short it up 10%. And hopefully it comes back in. In some cases, it doesn't, but in most cases, it does. So obviously, as traders, we live in, just percentages. We don't live in the absolutes. We can't make money on every single trade. But if you do enough trades and you have a quantitative approach to it and a quantitative edge, you will make money. So, and that's how I approach it. So somebody's getting down and dirty and saying, I'll pay up 10% for a Goldman upgrade. And I've got a historical quantitative, numbers on that it's worth 3 or 4. I'm trying to extract 6% alpha from that stupidity. So, and I'm just calling it out how it is. This is what happens. So there's algos that are doing this. They see RBLX up 30% and then be like, off 25% off Kathy Wood. It's like, it's a little bit overdone. Just a little bit outside.
Dennis, well, just looking at it, put a bow on RBLX here. Someone likes it here at 74.50. That's all I can tell you. This is a 15-minute chart over the last hour since that's it, 74.44, 74.50. So there's your support. Takes that out. You only have one number on the downside, and that would be the close. That was a close at 69.50 and still trading above yesterday's high too. So hard to pick a spot after that. Now at 92, I don't think we're going to see that again today.
I don't think so. You never know during the day.
Never know.
Volume can happen.
Know.
But, it's going to have to get some hype, and it will. Like, does it have the potential to go up from here? I think it's kind of fairly priced in here, but it's day 2, so it could do anything. Maybe the Momos gets going, maybe Reddit grabs a hold of it, and it could rip higher. But if you're just buying it on light volume, up there at 90, it's going to take a lot of, intraday action, something to happen almost, or media to just cover this exhaustingly to get back there. You gave up all the edge. Don't give up the edge. Last night, the smart buyers were buying this thing, RBLX after that we found out last night. I think it closed around 72 last night. So all of a sudden, it traded for 2 hours, an hour and a half off Kathy Wood, and the Arbs had her at 72, 73. Now we've ripped higher in tech, so you have to add that on, which gets you to that 75 pricing, 76 pricing. So it's kind of fairly priced.
Right
yeah, it's right there.
Boy,
so,
if you compare this company to EA, I mean, they're going to have to make a lot of money. But hey, this is what this market's about, right? It's high valuation. It's popular. I mean, and the other thing that's very interesting is that they're really attracting a younger demographic, which is, these kids this is the way they're thinking. This is the new Frisbee, this is the new yo-yo. This is the, the skateboard. This is what people are doing. So what else did Kathy dabble in yesterday?
Let's see.
There was 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 buys, and they're all pretty much the same stock she's been picking on. So nothing exciting. She bought 500 shares of SEER, Joel. Like literally, she bought 500 shares, and the stock's up 3.5% because she bought 500 shares.
Which stock is that?
SEER.
Seer.
She literally bought 500 shares, and they're paying up. Somebody's paying up 4% because she bought 500 shares. Not 5,000, not 500,000, 500. She bought 500 shares. Oh, but she bought it, and that's all that matters. So, anyways, this market. The Kathy fades have been working very, very well. If you're fading that RBLX movement in the morning, you're doing good. So I'm going to say it. The fade trade's still working. Don't chase Kathy moves. In my opinion, just my opinion.
Dennis, what about this this BuzzFeed SPAC that was a rumor, and it was reported. So ENFA, right, is your SPAC ticker. And it was just a report from Bloomberg. Not a rumor from Bloomberg that this ENFA, the SPAC, is gonna buy BuzzFeed.
Yeah, they're going to take BuzzFeed public here through the SPAC ENFA. That's what the rumor was. Look at the move last night. ENFA, Joel, bring it up, and you can see the ridiculous pop that this thing had here too. SPACs, the pops, the deal pops have been sells left, right, and center. SPACs, even despite the big rally we've had in tech, we talked about yesterday, SPACs have not participated really. Been a little bit of participation, but they've kind of been left out. The SPACs are still not in favor. So when you get a rumor, just a rumor, that this is going to take BuzzFeed public, the ANFA went to $14 last night. And now, the rumor hasn't materialized yet. It's all the way back down to 10.05. Give it all back. All of it. All of it. Gone. Again, chasing moves. Even if they took BuzzFeed, even if it was official, I'm not sure if it would have popped up $4 because it's just not the environment. I love BuzzFeed's good company. That seems like a pretty good deal. But again, it matters about valuation. And right now, SPACs are completely under attack and out of favor. So you're coming in and paying 12, 13, 14. It's going to 20. You're not in March. We're not in January. We're not in February. We're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. We cannot be paying up huge for these SPAC pops on the deal announcements because they have not been getting the favoritism they were getting 5 or 6 weeks ago. So you have to be cognizant to the SPAC environment that you're in. The pops have been fades. I don't know if it's going to continue to be that way. Maybe SPACs come back into favor. Maybe it's a big deal that'll get it all rolling again. But right now, SPACs are out of favor, and that's why you can't be going and chasing these SPAC moves like you were 6 weeks ago. We're teaching stuff here this morning.
We're teaching.
What we're trying to do is teach. We're yelling at you guys because we love you. That's why I'm yelling, because we love you and we don't want you guys to lose money.
I really got mad at Spencer on the afternoon show.
What happened?
What was that stock we were talking about that was going down?
What happened was I had forgotten, Dennis, that Dick's reported the other day, and we were talking about crap. What was the stock?
America Outdoors or something?
No.
Or?
Oh my gosh, so many stocks.
Academy, like Sports Academy or something.
Yeah, Sports Academy. That's what it was. It was Academy Sports.
Yeah, what's the symbol on that?
Yeah, ASO. ASO was the stock, and they. I think that I forget how it came up. Maybe it was a chat that brought it up.
Asked about it.
And but I'd forgotten that Dick's reported the other day, and the market did not like their earnings report. And Joel asked why they were down, and I forgot about the.
That's okay.
The Dick's report
Rotation.
Yeah. Well, no, about like Dick's kind of setting the tone for those sporting good retailers. But
I wanted just to say one more. There, the chat's giving me heat, and they're saying lots of SPACs are up 5%. Pre-deal. Once a SPAC has already got a deal, I don't even consider it really a SPAC anymore. It's now that company. So what I'm talking about is the pre-deal SPACs. Go look at them all. They can knock it off the mat. Most of these things are hugging 10. And most of the time on the deal pops, and even some of the ones that after, like, I mean, think about the rally we've had in the Q. CCIV hasn't rallied that much. So even some of the post-deal ones haven't done that great. But if you're looking at Skills, well, Skills had earnings. It's going to move around. Yes, it's up. But I'm talking the pre-deal SPACs. A lot of these things are having trouble getting off the mat. A lot of the premiums were in there. They were going 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, $14 without a deal, without a rumor. Most of those are back near the 10. Now, there's a few exceptions. GSAH, which I talked about, which is a good one, has popped up. It's Goldman. So it's getting a little bit of love. We still have the Aquin SPAC. It's still trading with the premium. I've sold out of PSTH. I'm out because I'm just like the premiums were taken out of all of the ones pre-deal. PSTH is still trading 27 on the 20. I sold some at 32. I sold the rest of it 3 days ago at like 27.90 because after it went down 23. Because I'm like, there's what if Aquin doesn't get a good deal, and what if he it's already trading at a premium. So he probably is going to get a good deal, but the response to good deals hasn't been good either. So there's just too much risk for me in that now, and that's why I'm out of PSTH too. I loved PSTH back when SPACs were in favor. SPACs are still out of favor. Maybe they're going to get back into favor again, but overall the pre-deal ones are massively out of favor. I know because I own some of them. They haven't been going up. Okay. Everybody's silent today. What's wrong, guys? We have nothing to say. Nothing to say.
Oh, that's a funny one in chat. Ackman's going to buy Herbalife. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I sold my SVAC. Basically, I was flat, and the opportunity cost of owning. Now that
it's post deal. What's the excitement? I mean, I sold mine too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, and I don't know. I didn't. Again,
there's a lot. Look at all those red candles in this one. Holy mackerel! On the daily. Look for SVAC.
Yeah.
I mean, man, oh man, when that thing gets a green candle.
Jack Douglas just
tipped us $100.
Just dropped us a what is that, a Benjamin? Just wanted to say thank you. Been watching since last March. Had my best year ever. Thanks to all your knowledge every morning, even when Dennis yells at you. Thank you, Jack Douglas.
$99.99. Nice.
Wow.
$100. That's
But
nice.
doesn't-
Thank you so much. We do appreciate that.
No,
That's a
no
huge tip.
Bitcoin. I thought we were only taking tips.
We
in
take
Bitcoin.
everything.
Take it.
We take
Rupees. We take everything.
We take everything. So no, we appreciate it. That's awesome.
Thanks,
we do
Jack.
appreciate that.
I
I know I can get angry sometimes, and I'm very opinionated. I'm a very opinionated Canadian. And you know what? Like I say, if you're making money,
that's an oxymoron.
I'm going to say one other thing though. If you're making money doing different things that I'm talking about, continue to do it. I mean, your P&L speaks volumes. So if you've got a system that is continuously making money, and I've said, and I've dogged your system in some way, indirectly or directly, I mean, your P&L speaks the volumes. You got something that's working, continue to do it by all means. I'm just trying to teach, traders who are struggling, or traders who aren't struggling, or traders who just want to get better.
Just something new.
Different ways, a quantitative approach to looking. Some people are saying where to get the data. Well, stock odds, Joel. You can get it from stock odds too. A lot of this stuff.
Yep.
So,
we're gonna be doing some more stuff.
Stock odds, and we can just give it a quick promo there. But it's stockodds.net. Is that the?
Yep.
He's got a few of them there. Can we get it at stockodds.net or stockodds? It's stockodds.com. mystockodds.com.
Right.
So you want to get quantitative data on stocks.
What he's been getting into as well, and we've been discussing it, is he gets his setups the night before. So during this pre-market trading, there's something he was there was a setup he talked about Sunday night in Clorox, and I mean he had all the ducks in a row, to buy the Clorox. And someone was paying way up for it in the pre, because the SPOOs are up initially, and someone was paying way up for it, and then the SPOOs turned around, and that came down with it, and so he ended up getting it to actual discount to where he wanted it, and he's only looking on an open to close basis. But we'll be getting into more. Maybe we'll get Rob on today. We got this is the last day. We got the rollover, and then we got the quad witch coming up next week. So there's going to be a lot of good setups for that. SP is just hanging up here, 27 handles, 39.23. Nice overnight rally. Right now, not giving any inclination that it wants to give anything back. We did, Kathy. How much GameStop did we talk yet? Did we talk?
We didn't talk GameStop.
Did Chris Camilo break GameStop?
Why do you say that?
Because he sold it.
He tweeted out literally about. I didn't get the timing of the tweet. We should go grab the timing of the tweet. Let's go look. Right here live. We're going to Chris Camilo's tweets. We love Chris. He comes on the show from Dumb Money. But he's like, okay, it's gotten silly and I'm out. And then it tanked. So, okay, Chris tweeted. We'll get the tweet, Chris.
Yeah.
He tweeted it at 12. It was a little few. Okay, so he didn't get the top. Sorry. He tweeted after it started to break.
It was 12:19. 12:19. Yeah.
12:19. He tweeted, sold my GME out for now. That's when GME was trading about $345 or so. And in the next couple of minutes, it got cut in half. Chris, you caused GME. No, but
what's really interesting?
It looks like he started selling it looks like it started to collapse just before Chris. If I'm trying to look really closely at that chart, it started to go down because they hit like 350. What was the high?
I took this off my screen in the morning. I don't have any kind of position in it, and but you have numbers that just stick out in your head, right? And I remember when I sold the last part of the position, it was the close. It was the all-time closing high, and that was 347.51. That was on January 27th. And then what do you get up to yesterday? 348.50. So, we talk about highs and we talk about lows, and closes are important. So, I mean, it could just be a coincidence. We'll have to ask Chris if he was looking at the old time. The highest you ever marked was 347, whatever, 51 or whatever I gave. Yep. And it got to 348.50. Now, predicting that it would go down to 172 after that.
That's
I
not
mean,
crazy.
holy mackerel. I mean, that it's so hard. You got to sell on the way up. I don't know how you can get
It
executed
looks
on the
like
way
he
down.
sold it about a minute or two after the selling started. So he maybe started seeing it break and he's like, okay, I got to get out. So he got out on the first little bit of the candle.
Yeah.
So it's right around the same time. 12.19 is really when the collapse started. That's right when Chris
It does.
he's widely followed. So, like he's definitely influential because he is widely followed, but GameStop's such a, crazy
That's a
trading
crazy
stock.
stock, yeah.
He probably saw we'll have to ask Chris, why he sold. Maybe he just saw it just starting to go down because it looks like it just started to break. And then he's like, okay, I don't want to, I've been sticking around this thing for a while. And I mean, he had some guts and, I liked it. I liked the chart. I liked the setup. I didn't think it was going to run $150 or $200.
No.
I liked it at 140. But there was a few people. I had 3 or 4 people reach out to me that actually bought it, and a couple other people got out there too. So near the top, my buddy Mike there took it from 150 to 300 and something too, and he sold too. So good job, Mike. So good job, Chris. Good job, Mike. Good job, traders. If you're banking,
before I had a good feel, for it when it was. Now it's like. My feel's totally gone. I have no right now. I mean, the setups, the higher. Now it's tough. Now, I you can say things with confidence, but all right, man.
Yeah, now it's tough. Joel's got it right. The setup was when we were calling it on a technical basis 4 days ago. And we're like, this is setting up to go. I wish I would have bought it. I couldn't stomach to buy calls because I know the premiums are there, and I was like, I can't stomach to buy the stock because. Who knows when they pull the rug out from under it. But I'm like, technically, if this was GameStop, I'd buy this. I couldn't do it because it was GameStop.
Couldn't stomach it.
But anyways, there's a few. Yeah, I can't stomach it. And you know what? A position like that, and here's another point. When I'm trading something, that requires babysitting. A GameStop position, you can't take your eye. You've got to watch it. And so I have an opportunity cost. When I trade something like GameStop or I trade something that's just reported earnings, there's an opportunity cost because those are crazy. And I can make some money tape reading that and probably getting out of it. But the question is, does that impact my other trading, my quantitative approach to trading? I'm trading 50 or 100 stocks overnight. I can't be watching GameStop. I've got on all these other stocks to watch. So, there's always an opportunity cost. And, I talk this with my other buddy at Bright Trading a lot too. I'm like, oh, there's a nice setup in this, but I'm like, that requires babysitting. That thing's too crazy right now. So I don't like babysitting. And that's why I try to go in more boring stocks so I can control it a little bit more. So, if I'm trading the stuff that just had news, and sometimes I do. If I'm bored, I would trade something like that. But GameStop absolutely requires babysitting. You got 1 or 2 stocks, you can watch that closely. You got 100 stocks, they're all bouncing around, they're all short-term day trades. You're trying to trade GameStop on top of that, you spread yourself both thin.
All right. Do we have? I saw some analyst ratings. We haven't talked. They really haven't been moving the market as much. But I just want to congratulate you on a call that you made yesterday, Dennis.
I have no idea what that is.
General Electric.
Oh.
That's
the quantitative approach too. You just know. You don't even need stats on that. I can't think of a reverse split stock that goes up. Then this is proposed, but. People are paying like 14.5 for that in the pre-market. They don't understand reverse splits. They're taking shares away. So anyways, that just, even, Fast Money, they talked about it, Joel, last night, and you got Grasso, they were all bullish. Tim Seymour, there was literally a segment about a week ago, where Tim Seymour pitched GE and they all agreed. They all loved it. Last night, all those traders were on and they're like, we don't like this. We don't like it. So, and it was good. Like they pitched the stock at like 12.5 and it ran 14.5. So it was a great job, Tim Seymour. I know you follow us, and and when you've been on our show lots of times, we love you. And it was a great pitch. And you know what? You did. You got sabotaged to a certain extent by that reverse split announcement, and that's why the stock. It was a terrible, terrible announcement for the company. And you could tell Tim was a little bit lukewarm. He's like, I don't like this. And Grasso, same thing. I mean. Who likes reverse splits? Who likes losing? And Karen Feinerman, I can't understand either. Karen Feinerman was correct too. She's on there saying, what companies are doing this when they're, they're under a buck and they're in trouble. I mean, why do this? So, anyways, she said it wouldn't surprise me. It's the same thing I said on the show in the pre-market yesterday morning, but she said it last night. She said it wouldn't surprise me if they back off, because it's not an official announcement. I said it too yesterday. I don't think they do it. I don't think they do a reverse split. I think they'll pull that. I think they see the response to the stock and they'll be like,
Yeah,
market doesn't like this. So I would not surprise me on that actually this GE on this pullback is a buying opportunity. So and it's back to the Tim Seymour level where he pitched it. I don't think they're going to do the reverse split. I think they see the reaction, and if they announce that or they say anything that the reverse split's off the table, the stock will rip higher. I don't know if they're going to do that, if that's imminent or anything. It's a little spooked right now, so I'm not sure you got to jump in it today. But I think you'll find 1250. I think you're going to find some buyers at 1250. And if you've been wanting to get in GE, I think this is a pullback you can actually buy because I don't think they'd do the reverse split. That's just my opinion.
I'll have to track down Mr. Inch, John Inch, and get his opinions. We haven't had him on talking GE in a while.
Well, when he was going to get bullish GE, that's when we were going to buy. But John never got bullish.
Yeah,
obviously we're talking John Inch, who was bearish stock at $29, and he's still got I think a $5 or $6 price target. Maybe it's $8 now. And then obviously you got JP Morgan's Tusa too. Tusa ever turned bullish?
Yeah, he did. He
did, eh?
Yeah, there was a couple of those.
I like this story. I think there's a turnaround story here too. I don't know why they did the reverse split thing. I think this is an opportunity.
I talked about it, right?
Yeah, now you're off. You've punished the stock from 14.30 down to 12.5. It's basically over a 10% fall on 2 days because everybody's spooked a reverse split's coming. I don't think they do it. I think it's a buying opportunity. That's just my opinion.
Let it make a couple lows. It'll make a couple lows in the same area, and we'll see. It is trading below yesterday's low, which was 12.92. But
who downgraded it today? Somebody just said downgraded. I didn't look at ratings yet. Yeah, they is Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Oppenheimer did.
Overweight to neutral. They must have got spooked by or overweight to perform. They call it. That's their neutral. They got spooked by it too. I think it's opportunity.
Yeah,
I like 12.5.
Yep. Yeah, half. 12.5. You have that one low at 12.5. So just below that. We'll see what happens down. Traded down though in the pre-market. So.
I wrote it down. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Not long. Not yet.
All right. What else? We got Buck in the background. He'll be coming on here in another minute or two.
Oracle earnings.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot about Oracle. Go ahead.
It's a company that always finds a way to disappoint on earnings and then comes back for the next report.
Yes.
I own Oracle. I've owned it forever. I still have it. I bought it at $9 during the financial crisis, and I still have it. I sold a little bit on the way up, like I always do, but I've still got a chunk of the position. What did they do last report? I'm trying to go see here.
I can look it up for you very quickly, courtesy.
Did they hit it? I can't remember.
You want to look at the chart?
Well, you can tell me the numbers too on the last report, but I'm trying to remember if they hit the stock or not. I don't see much reaction.
It was the date for the last report was December 10th.
December 10th.
Okay, it didn't.
Not much. It didn't do much on the last report. Hardly any response in there, so it must have just been kind of what everybody thought.
I mean, this report would, at least the headlines were pretty damn good, right? Their EPS beat, their sales beat, they added $20 billion to their buyback program, and they're raising their quarterly dividend from 24 cents a share to 32 cents a share. And they gave some inline guidance. So
yeah. But it ran up 10% in 3 days into the report. That's the problem. So expectations too high, doesn't meet the higher expectations, and the stock sells off. Gets back to 65. I own it already, so I'm probably not buying more. But if it got back to 65, I think you find buyers down there. 68, it's a little ways away. How low did we get here, pre-market, Joel?
It's interesting. You had a daily low March 5th at 67.31. And someone made a stand right in that area. 67.29 is your pre-market low. 67.30, that lines up with here. I mean, if you get back, you're only a buck away from it, and you had the big move. So that's at least where someone was bringing it in the pre-market. Yes, the pre-market. And below that, oh boy, you got a steep drop to 65.31. The number Triple D picked up there, but you did match that low in the pre-market. Got a little bit of a bounce to 69. Looked like we're tailing off once again now.
I'm still long. I'm sticking with it. I still like the stock. I think down 65, 66, 67. I think you'll find buyers. And when we look at this 3 months from now, I think it's higher as long as the market holds up because it always seems to get it back eventually. Day one, maybe not, but I think eventually it's back.
2 weeks ago. This was on, I think, Barron's cover. And that got a nice bounce along with the pre-earnings run, because that's an unusual move that it had from 62 to nearly 74.
Value check back in favor.
Yeah.
Too, so that helps it as well, the rotation. But there was a headline in there too. I forget what the headline was. There was a couple headlines driving Oracle as well.
Yeah, something, I don't know, getting into the cloud, I think. I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, the Barron's move. That was a big move. I would wait for this to come back in a little bit. And I mean, you see the daily lows in Oracle, but right now down 397 and 68.15, and I think it's just not going to rip back up here, folks, because you got some people caught like, oh, I should have sold ahead of the report. They always miss. Bottom of yesterday's range would be a real key area, 71.50, if in fact we can get up there. That's 3.25 points away.
So Buck.
Yep, let's bring Buck on. Buck Andrews, co-founder of Inform. What's going on, sir? How we doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going. It's going. We're trying to get a feel for this. Every day is back and forth.
Yeah.
I want to know how your week was trading Mara and Riot, because those things were really volatile there, Buck. You're growing some gray hairs there on trading the Mara and Riot, or
No. I've had gray hairs for a long time, so that
don't bother you.
No, it was a pretty interesting week, and I think things kind of set up kind of nicely on the bottom there. It was if you looked at the Treasury bonds, I reversed my Treasuries or didn't reverse, but I got out of my shorts on Tuesday.
Okay.
When we bought it, it looked like a pretty good bottom on Monday, or was that Friday? Friday. And look at the TTD trade desk. You see that spike low.
Wow.
Spike low. So you had that spike low on stocks like TTD, and then the next day, the Nasdaq came down and tested, and Treasuries had stopped going down and were basing. And at that point, I reversed. I actually got back into my long. Excuse me. I got back into long ARC. I bought Tesla. I got out of all my oil trades. Got out of Treasuries. Bought Riot. Bought CAN. Bought CCIV.
Nice.
And had a pretty good run for the 2 days.
Where'd you pick up Tesla, Buck? Or you already bought and sold it? Or are you still in it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. For some reason we just got a little problem here
Can't hear it.
Buck, can you hear me?
on the audio.
Can you hear me?
We hear you, good. Well,
Can you hear us, Buck? Yes or no? No, I don't think.
Guys back?
Can you hear us? We never
heard
left.
you the whole time. We've heard you the whole time. We don't hear us.
Oh, there we go.
We never left you.
I've got.
All right.
Buck just left the building.
Buck has left the building. When he comes
Buck
back,
Andrews, folks, Buck, he's going to get the stuff. He's going to figure it out. He'll be back out. I'm curious. It's interesting that he was looking at the same spot where I started buying.
There's Buck.
He's back.
Yeah, you know what? I had my phone sitting here, and Siri kicks in, and all of a sudden takes over the
oh man,
the audio.
That's Siri. You got to watch her. She'll take everything over on you.
So wait, so what Dennis was asking was, where'd you buy Tesla? That's what he tried asking.
I bought Tesla. I started buying Tesla on the day when it was the day after.
Day after.
So let me look at the chart. I started buying Tesla. I bought it twice.
Okay.
So then I added. I like to get a position. I'll take a small position when I'm not sure if it's a bottom yet, and then what I'll do is I'll add as it's going up. So I started buying Tesla right on that gap, right at 588, somewhere right in there on the pre-market. Yeah.
On the second day, on day two, after the flush day, then he came out.
Yeah, you see the base there at 5 and 8, and so you try to come down on March 8th, and you did not take out the lows. So I was looking at those lows,
Yeah,
the March 5th lows, and watching to see if they would hold on the 8th.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of those stocks held.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah, a lot of those stocks held. And so what I did is I at the close, I started adding stock, like I added ARC at the close, and then and Tesla I put a very small position, and then on the gap open I added in the morning pre-market.
I love this trade for 2 reasons. One, you did not try to catch the falling knife on the 7th, or the day before. I guess it was the 5th because we had a weekend. But you didn't try to catch that falling knife. You waited until the next day, so you had the level to trade off. And we talked about it on the show that day. I'm just saying, these lows here, if they can hold the previous day's lows, that's what you want to see. And you waited for that. And obviously, then you struck. I actually did the exact same thing. I picked up a few tech stocks that day just because they didn't make new lows. MRVL was one of them. I'm a little more conservative guy in my long-term portfolio, so I wasn't picking on Tesla. I bought more Qs because they did not make a new low. And I also bought for solar because it did not make a new low. So same thing. We were looking at the charts the same way. They did not make the new low from that 5th to the 8th, so we were buying on the 8th, and you were doing the same exact thing. So that's smart trading right there, looking at those lows and leaning on those lows.
Yeah, it was a perfect setup because it gave you, after the 5th, it came back down the 8th and tested. And most of those, pretty much everything held there, so it gave you a tradable bottom.
Yes, it did.
And so that's why I added. But honestly, I got out of Tesla 2 days ago, when it was up like above near these highs.
Why not? I mean, you just took 100 points out of something in 2 days. That's a pretty significant move there. Making 10 in a day and a half. I think you take the profits too when you get these huge moves in a day. Why not take?
Yeah, because there's still a question, whether we finish this rotation or not. I think the majority of it's done. But if you look at like ARC, the ARC funds are all opening up near their high the other day. They haven't gotten to, so now you have a tradable high, where you've got to watch and see whether these things can get past these highs and start another trend. But my guess is we're going to chop around on technology for a little bit.
What's your average holding time, Buck? When you're jumping in these trades, are you typically jumping in for a day, a week, a month? What's your average holding time?
It depends upon the market.
Okay.
In a market like this, where we're pretty rocky, if I'd been, held some of these things, back in April you get a 30% down move, you hold for a while. But when you're in these choppy areas after you've already had a big bull market, the market's kind of long in the tooth, I'll take my profits.
I think you got to on these types of markets, because if you don't take them, I always say the market will take them for you. So you made a good trade on something. You make 10% in a day. Tough not to take it.
Yeah, the other thing I was looking at, you guys were talking about SPACs. SPACs actually, as we all know, they've been taken out to the woodshed. But there's stocks like CCIV, which has been cut in half, which had a really nice base.
Yeah.
And I was out to dinner last night and driving past, and guess what I saw? I saw a Lucid Motors showroom. It was pretty nice, actually.
What do you think here? I mean, you bought some here. Is this like a longer term trade for you, or
yes,
as well?
Yeah. So the type of stocks that I'm holding for long term, like Greenbox, GBOX, I've got a long term hold on that one.
What's the second one? Sorry.
Greenbox.
Greenbox. Okay.
Yeah, I own that one and hope to, because it's a small cap. It's not heavily. There's not a lot of people in it. Haven't had a run yet.
What is it? I don't even know what they do.
It's a blockchain stock, which is in financial transactions. They working with a lot of banks. They are growing pretty rapidly, very rapidly. So I think this could be a good long-term growth name. Now that one I will not touch.
So even if it pulls down,
GBRX.
Yeah. GBRX or GBOX?
Yeah. green box.
GBOX. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, GBOX.
Yeah.
Hey, Buck, any
GBOX.
Yeah, you're confusing me here, Buck. Any comments here just on like the overall volatility? I mean, it's been we're coming into a quad wedge off at a turning point. I kind of like to see the market calm down a little bit and then keep going higher. What do you think about the recent volatility and perhaps
the volatility? What was weird about the volatility? Normally, I was actually long VIX futures but they did me. There was no protection there at all because this volatility is primarily in these Nasdaq and tech stocks, so it did not move the VIX at all hardly. So there were the VIX didn't move. You had no protection in the VIX if you were long your tech stocks. So the volatility is very specific in these sectors. It's not everywhere. No, the volatility is in tech. Volatility is not in the S&P. It's not in the Dow.
All right. Okay.
All right. Buck Andrews is the co-founder of Inform. I put this up on the screen earlier, and I will do it again now. Inform.info. There it is. IN4M.info. Buck, as always, thanks for the time. We will speak to you again in 4.5 market rotations from now.
Okay, guys. Hey, have a good weekend.
Whatever happens next week. All right. Thanks a lot, Buck.
Thanks, Buck.
All right. It is 8:47.
Losing a little altitude here. We lost the 39.20 handle. No big deal here. Nice move overnight. Kind of getting up near that old-time closing high, 39.31. We got the 39.29. Yesterday's high, 16.25. That's like minor support here coming down from just an old high, just an old daily high is potential support. But kind of quiet here in the pre-market.
I mean, Buck making a good point. You look at the Q's rally here this morning, and if you're coming in and buying, tech stocks here, you're buying up against a big point here. The high from yesterday, 316.47. We're trading 315.80. So you have a tradable top here, which I would say you have a tradable short on the Q's here this morning. The way I would approach it is, you short here. If you were to short here at 315.88, stop yourself out just above the highs. You got to give it a little wiggle room, maybe even go to the other high from when we were breaking down from 318.24. But, you give yourself a little room. But if you're thinking, that this is just a snapback rally, and, obviously we saw a little bit of selling pressure into yesterday's, there's, just as we say there's tradable bottoms, there's tradable tops too. And that's how I approach it too, looking at those prior days highs and lows. I know you do that as well, Joel.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it gives you an out. It's like, when I enter a trade, I never think about the money I'm going to make. I think about the money I'm going to lose. And I want to be able to control my risk somehow. And you do have the high from yesterday as a controllable spot. So if you're coming in and buying, at up 1.65% on the Nasdaq, it's one of the Qs. Well, you got to be cognizant that you're buying it right up against the previous day's high. That sometimes will take it out. Still anything can happen. We're in an anything can happen market, but a lot of times you'll have traders coming in looking at the same thing that I'm looking at, saying, well, there's some resistance there, and maybe it struggles to get through there. Maybe I'll try it from the short side, and maybe they pull the rug out from under the Qs after the open. That could all happen. We still have the Qs that are struggling here relative to the rest of the market, where this value trade has been relentless. We saw the little sell-off in the banks 2 days ago was immediately bought back. That's why I look at a stock like GE and I think, okay, downgraded today, reverse split. It's a value stock, 12.5 is a big level. I'm like, it sets up not bad as actually a counter trade here. So, but I'm a contrarian at heart, so that's how I trade. Look, I learned from you, Joel.
Yeah, if you ain't trading, you ain't fading, you ain't trading, right?
You ain't fading, you ain't trading. That's what they always said of break trading. So, 10 minutes ticker time?
Oh, that's a lot of ticker time, Spencer. Do we cover?
There's a lot.
Everything?
There's a lot that we can get to. There's a lot of stuff from chat. Can we talk Bumble? Let's talk Bumble for a second. BMBL. They had their first earnings report as a public company yesterday after the close. So not much to compare to as far as history is concerned and past performance, but they lost 1 cent per share last quarter. Let me see how that compares to estimates. That was we don't have estimates, and that's weird. Okay, revenue $165 million. Total paying users up 32% year over year, and they also gave some sales guidance in the $164 million range for the first quarter.
What's the pre-market action look like, an after-hours action on this, Joel?
Pretty much straight up 660, 670. It was strong after hours. Just so you got a bidder here. And let's see if they take it to this, just a soft number here, 71.40. Had a big decline. That's halfway back. I mean, if you're really bullish today, maybe you get up into the 73.75 or 74.75. But this thing, it's approaching the 50% pretty quickly, only 4 days. Had a nice double bottom, but that's what I'd be looking at. They're pressing it. Not sure if there's a seller just under 70, but it's been bid, strong bid. So once you lose that buyer here, I don't know. Little bit of air underneath, but that
mid-range downtrend though since it IPO'd, and you got a snapback counter trend rally on an earnings report. Be careful they don't pull the rug out from under this. You got 3 consecutive tops on February 24th, 25th, and 26th, just over $70. I think you run into resistance at $70. If I was long this, I would sell it.
Yeah, it's got a bid. Just when it loses, you don't know if that's a bid, just looking for more bids. But
I think it runs into resistance at 70. I think you're right there. I think you're in the register. My opinion, I don't know position in it. I think if you're long it, I think you sell it.
All right, we got a question from chat. How do we feel about Skills, SKLZ? They also had earnings last night. They missed their EPS estimate, 14-cent loss versus a 10-cent loss estimate. Sales of $68 million versus a $62.5 million estimate. So they beat that figure. They also gave some sales guidance for the year. That was in line. $366 million is what they guided for their fiscal year sales.
Complete shop fest on the report. And I get so sidetracked. I actually was long this stock. I had it written on my sheet that it reports, like literally written on my homework sheet that it reports. And somehow I bought the stock on the close. And I'm like, and then it starts ripping higher. And I was like, what's going on with Skills? I was like, oh, it reported. I totally missed it. Anyway, so I actually was long the stock from the close. And I had an order sitting up higher, and I got picked off basically at 26.5 or 26.70 or something because it reported earnings, and somebody picked me off. And then it tanked after that. So, anyways, you know you're trading too much when you're actually long Skills into the report, and you actually wrote it down that you knew it reported, but you didn't just process that it reported. And I still had a trade on it from the close. So. It's funny, but anyway, so it ended up working out for me. I was just BS luck. I made 80 cents on it. It's just bullshit luck.
Let's see what happens at 27.60. That's your pop where you got to when Dennis got picked off. It went right to 27.50. Then it made another couple runs at 27.50. 27.60 is the high from yesterday. You're not that far off it. So if he gets through there, it starts to open up into the 28 handle. Just be careful if you go like 27.70, 27.80, and then you come back down to that level. I don't know if I'd want to hold it, but 3-day high is 28.80. And if you're looking a little bit longer term, maybe, I mean, this thing really came in, made that all-time high at 45, just over 45, made a low. What do they do?
Skills? It's gaming. It's like gaming equipment. And
got the skills to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm off of my retracement, but if you're looking a little bit longer term here, I mean, you have 45.79 down. That's about a 20-point break. So 35. I mean, if you're really bullish, this thing, you're going to get back half of this move. I mean, you can sit on this thing, maybe look for 35 and change, 34, 35. Maybe not today, but that would be a valid retracement of a stock that had a heck of a sell-off.
Hey, I forgot about AMC. Let's talk AMC. Let's talk about it. They had earnings last night. Not that the earnings really matter. But basically the takeaway was the CEO said we're no longer in survival mode.
That's good news.
That's good news. We're no longer in survival mode. They're banking on the vaccine rollout and the reopening of states and the release of new movies for the first time in a year. I skimmed the transcript. It all seemed pretty optimistic to me.
Rich Greenfield came out, or buddy Rich Greenfield. Is it Lightspeed? What's this company?
Not
It's Light Shed. Light Shed.
Light Shed. Anyways, you know he's the Fubo analyst. He came out with a 1 cent price. He's outspoken, and he tweets and he talks, and he really talks what his opinion is.
Yeah.
He came out with a 1 penny price target on AMC. I believe it was yesterday.
Okay.
1 penny is his price target, and he says it's because it's not bankruptcy isn't imminent here, so that's why he gave it 1 penny and not a zero.
All right.
But he basically said this company has no hope and they can't pay. They're not going to be able. He said a lot of bad things. He was on CNBC yesterday too, and the stock started going down actually after he was talking about that. But I don't know if it's going to a penny. I don't know any of that. I just know this thing trades off GameStop. So once you get this earnings, a little digestion period, the first hour, keep watching GameStop. Because if GME starts to rip higher, they'll rip AMC too. So GameStop is your leader still. Even despite AMC reporting earnings, GameStop will be an indicator once again after about the first hour for AMC.
Yeah, kind of a whoops day. Got up over 12. People were looking for the gap fill up to here, up to 1291. Didn't quite get it. Only 1247. Pretty close. I would say with this one, the longer it takes to get back up to yesterday's high, if it starts struggling at 11 or 11 and a quarter, perhaps rolled over. Because like I say, people that got caught in it today, but 1247, that seems like a long ways away. On the downside, if you go into reverse here, your first area of support would be the close at 985, and you're actually trading it right at the close from Tuesday. Yeah, right. Tuesday, and that was 1050. That was the first time it settled over double digits since February 1st.
Let's go to China for a second. JD and Baidu both have headlines here this morning. JD had earnings. Baidu just announced an offering. So a couple things actually with Baidu. CNBC reporting that they're going to list their shares in Hong Kong later this month, and also they filed for a 95 million share offering. That's Baidu.
They did. They filed for an offering, and it's up 4%.
Yep.
That blows my quantitative analysis out. Obviously, the other news was very important, I guess. But usually, when you have an offering, the stocks go down. I don't know. So I don't know the details on this. So maybe there's something else. Maybe this filing, to list shares or to do the first thing that you said. What is the first thing you said?
They're going to list in Hong Kong.
Okay,
they're basically going to try to do what
at least that's what the market thinks that Trump's the offering. I hate dilution, so when I see a stock that's going to offer, I'm absolutely not paying up 4% for it. So
yeah, it's up, but it's nowhere near yesterday's high. That was 72.49. Also another high at 271. So with that news, I mean, it's only trading at 265. I think you have a struggle getting up to 270.
What a ridiculous move this Baidu's been, though. From what was hated, it was like the China stock that was hated forever until November, and then they just decided they loved it all of a sudden because they were going to do something with EV.
Yeah, exactly.
150 to 350. Now it's back to the 50%. So that's one thing going for it. The thing that's not going for it is the little head and shouldery. Head and shoulders on a head and shoulders almost. Like you had the first head and shoulders that filled, the whole neckline and came all the way back down. Now you got this left shoulder from November. So if it starts forming a right shoulder there, we don't know how the pattern's going to look here. I mean, the trend is still your friend here to a certain extent, but EV, it was really hot there obviously a month ago, and it's gone out of favor. So it's not surprising they pulled the rug out from under this one too. But I don't even know if they ever officially announced anything in EV. So like Baidu, if they're like, it was all rumors.
I vaguely remember that one headline, but that was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a headline.
They announced something officially.
Here's a headline from yesterday. Baidu Apollo says it was selected to build a landmark 5G intelligent driving project. I missed this. This was from yesterday. It says the project is worth $16 million. All right. $16 million.
This is nothing. Nothingness. It's a headline.
Right.
Nothingness for Baidu company.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I didn't understand the move from 150 to 350, so I still don't understand it at 260.
Contract is worth $16 million. Last quarter, Baidu's earnings were like $4.5 billion. So, I'm not sure what $16 million is going to do for their bottom line, but hey, whatever. And what about JD real fast, Joel? They had earnings this morning.
Sure, let's take a look at it. JD.com.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Just all these stocks are broken still, don't they? Doesn't that look kind of like, look at all the highs around 95 in the area, like it's getting right back into this state trend. So I know it got to 99 here pre-market, just got silly. I don't know. I think you're struggling about 95.
Yeah, well, how high
You
did you
saw the rip in a lot of this stuff.
You got to 108 down. That was like a 30-point move, 33-point move. So 16, 85, 90. I agree with you here. That 99, that was a way overshoot here. I mean, if you want to look, got a double top, 98.45, 98.70. So if you keep on going, there you go. Actually, you're clearing 93.88. That was your 5-day high. So you lose that, there's some downside. But you're right. There's a lot of people stuck here,
Yeah.
I think, willing to sell on a pop.
Okay, that's gonna be a wrap. I know there was a lot from chat that we didn't get to. We will cover more of that throughout the day, but also at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time for pre-market prep at the close. Joel, do we have a guest, or is it going to be just you and me?
Don't have one yet.
Don't have one
yeah,
yet.
We'll
And okay, that'll be a wrap for us, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us here this morning. Thanks to all of you in our chat. Thanks to our guest Buck Andrews. Thanks again to Jack Douglas for that massive super chat comment. We appreciate all super chats, all likes. Hit that like button. I haven't checked our like total for like 40 minutes. I'm gonna do that now though, and I don't want to be disappointed. Please don't disappoint me. How many likes are we up to? We up to 373 likes. Not enough. Not enough. Can we get to 500? Can we get to 500? Please. Thank you. Smash that like button. Thank you very much. For all of you listening to this show via podcast, of course, we're on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. And that's going to be a wrap for pre-market prep. We'll see Joel again at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. But it is not a wrap for Benzinga programming. No. How could it be? Guys, we got another full day ahead. We're going all day. Unconfirmed. I think I'll get in trouble for saying this, but I think we might be going to like 7:00 p.m. today. We are expanding into the evening. I'm not going to say too much because I'll get in trouble because I don't know if it's confirmed yet. But we are working on expanding into the evening hours because let's face it, that's when y'all are not working and probably willing to hang out. So our evening program is going to be much more casual, much more informal. And we'll hang out and we'll talk markets, and we're trying to make it more entertainment-y. Maybe a little less on the information, a little more on the fun. And so that may start today. That's Mitch's thing. I'm not going to say any more because if I say any more, I'll get in trouble. But we got a full day ahead. We got to get technical with Neil Hamilton. I know his show technically starts at 9:30, but he likes to do like a pregame show, which I believe will start in about 5 minutes. So I'll just go over to him when that starts. We've got SPACs Attack today at 11:00, as we do every day. Today we've got Al Gottmaiden. I hope I got that right. He's the president of UpHealth. The ticker there is GIX. That'll be at 11:15 Eastern time. We, of course, have the Power Hour at noon. From noon to 2, we've got the BZ Crypto Show at 2. Not sure about Biotech Buzz today. Vivi, I know, is traveling, so we'll confirm that when we can. But if we don't have Vivi, we'll have Alex Cole from Go No Go Charts and just hanging out and talking technicals until pre-market prep at the close, followed by the Benzinga Cannabis Hour, followed by a new after-hour show at 5:00 with Ryan Rose-Biani, followed potentially by another new show, but I won't say any more about that new show because, again, I think I'll get in trouble for saying anything more. I've mentioned this a couple of times for the past few days and weeks. Is Benzinga is looking for more on air and even behind the scenes talent. If you are interested in hanging out on a live stream with us and or even just by yourself, and you can talk markets, you can talk stocks, you can talk either one area of the market or the entire markets, and you can just do it by yourself and kind of just schmooze with the chat. Send me an email, but also in that email, if you could send like a clip or some kind of you talking about something, right? You can email powerhour@benzinga.com or PreMarket@benzinga.com if you want to, be on our stream. And that goes for guests as well. If you're a listener of our show or any of our shows, and you ever want to come on, I know Power Hour does the call-ins. We're a little bit more low-key here in Pre-Market Prep in the mornings. But if you listen to our show and you ever want to come on as a guest, email us, premarket@benzinga.com. The last few times I've done that, we've got like very few responses, but I want to keep the door open, right? If you want to come on our show and talk to Joel, Dennis, and myself, email us, premarket@benzinga.com. If you want to potentially have your own show, maybe, send me a clip, powerhour@benzinga.com or premarket@benzinga.com. Send me a clip of you talking about something, so at least I can see, what you can do. And that would be extremely, Corey D, you can schmooze. That's great. We want a schmoozer. Right? If you really do want that, send me a video. Some sort of doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just want to hear you talk, see you talk for a few minutes about something, right? Michael Chor, you're camera shy. Then that may not be for you. But that being said, we are also in an effort to expand into the evening, we're going to need more production help. If producing shows is your thing, you like, reaching out to guests, doing research, preparing for interviews, even doing interviews. If that sort of thing is your thing, we're looking for that as well, especially in the evening. So you can also email powerhour@benzinga.com if that is also up your sleeve. Christian Gallagher likes the whiteboard. Thank you very much. Full disclosure, I did not draw that. I am not that talented. I'm actually very artistically challenged, but I will take suggestions for new drawings. A lot of you were saying you were tired of the Oscar statue. I took your feedback. I listened. We got a whiteboard. Okay. I'm like Woody Page over here. Every day will be a different message. I just don't know what it'll be. All right. Let me see here. Does it pay? Yeah. I mean, we're not looking. We're not looking for like slave labor over here. We're trying to scale this thing. But full disclosure, we're new at the streaming thing, at the all-day streaming thing. So nothing is quite fleshed out yet. But I would say if you're interested, it can't hurt to reach out. Okay, it can't hurt to reach out. If your first question is going to be about money, then maybe not the best fit. But you should want to do it first and foremost, and if it's a good fit, we can go from there. But that's what I would say. I would say it can't hurt to reach out, and that's all I had to say about that. Michael Davis is watching Roblox. Oh gosh, I don't even want to look. Okay, it's not doing anything crazy now, Michael Davis. I don't know what you were saying. It got crazy this morning. Nothing new though. So I've written a bunch of tickers down. We'll cover them at 3:30. I know someone had mentioned Palantir a lot. We'll cover Palantir later. I believe I saw a rocket in there. We're at 600 likes. Yeah, we're at 619. Let's get to 700. I'm about to sign off in a minute. And when I do that, I want to hopefully be at 700 likes. Let me see. Did I have any other housekeeping items? No, I think that was pretty much it. Again, in the link in the description of every video are links. Okay, we've got Benzinga Pro. We got a massive discount code to Benzinga Pro. Pro.benzinga.com. If you enter the promo code YouTube47, that'll get you 47% off the price of a monthly subscription paid annually. That's basically a $2,000 or $2,100 value, and you're getting almost half off of a $2,100 value with the code YouTube47. Again, that's pro.benzinga.com. And that's pretty much it, for what I was gonna say. So everyone, I'm gonna hop off of the stream. Get Technical with Neil Hamilton is live right now. Stay tuned for that. I will see you all later throughout the day. Good luck in your trades. Be smart and stay safe. I will see you later.